Hi everyone, Sailor Uranus, Sailor Skyworld here, and Sailor Neptune, Sailor SeaWorld here, and today we're going to talk about, folks who still hate the Dic and Cloverway Sailor Moon and bring up everything they don't like about it. But first off, I'm here to tell you it's not as bad as they make it out to be. I mean, the first thing they're going to tell you is it's the show playing. Oh, that they didn't like, the North Vinlander Settlelanders or the North Vinlander 4-1 Riker speaking for them. That they thought it was wrong, not good. Didn't match up with what they thought the cells should talk like. Well, I hate to break it up to you. If you thought they were going to speak Dawnlandish English, think again. And even if they did speak Dawnlandish English, these folks would still bitch and say it doesn't match up. That's the first thing they like to bitch about. Another thing they like to bitch about are names being shifted. They'll make it out to be the worstest thing you can do is shift one borrowed name out for another borrowed name. They go, how dare they shift out those Dawnlandish borrowed names for those Hebrewists, Latinists, Frenchists, Spanish, Farsius, Hellenish borrowed names. The borrowed names that most folks who speak English would know because English borrowed more names from those speakers than Dawnlandish. But it's not a bad thing, but they make it out to be that way. And another thing that they will bitch about is they'll bitch about how stead names being shifted. Yeah, believe it or not, they bitched about how stead names were shifted. How dare they shift out the stead names? As if Sailor Moon belongs to them, and that Dic and Cloverway had no right to make the shifts that they did. Oh, can I go on? Alright, Sarah Neptune. Oh, thank you, Sarah Uranus, Sailor Skyworld. First off, another thing that they like to bring up, not everyone brings this up, is they like to bring it up about the cleaning or the skimming or the cutting out of some fighting and some wrestling, as if it takes away from the whole saga or something. Yeah, they're like, oh, they cut out that one scene when someone got struck in the rear or slapped or so. Well, so they did. It didn't take away from the rest of the show, did it? Well, that's how they behave as if the skimming and cleaning of the wrestling and the fighting going on in the show was, the good things were skimmed out and what they saw were the bad things, in their belief. One more thing I like to bring up is the unstraight folks being skimmed or cleaned or shifted. And first off, they'll make that out to be a really bad thing. And as I keep on bringing up, at the time, that was the oversight that one had to follow. If one was making a film, show, or play for children, either a drawing show, film, or a show, that you had to watch out about unstraight folks, because there were folks out there that were, willing to get a hold of UPN or WB or Fox or USA or Cartoon and tell them, oh, it's a no-go because they bitched and ranted and put enough squeeze on the ownership and leadership of that folk work that Dic and Cloverway would say it's a no-go. See, nowadays, it's not a big deal anymore. Nowadays, a lot of folks are more open-minded, more trusting, more understanding of that, and it's not a big deal anymore. And you're right, it should have not been a big deal, but back then it was. And they'll make that out to be like, like the most baddest thing that it ever done. Like how dare they make Zoisite into a woman? How dare they make fisheye into a woman, which I believe was hardly a woman to begin with? How dare they shift, Amara, Michelle into Nearkin? Well, those are the things that they're going to say that makes it bad. And then they're going to tell you that the Viz one is flawless and there's nothing wrong with that one. Can I talk again? Oh yeah. Alright, Sailor Neptune, Sailor SeaWorld. You're right, Sailor Neptune, Sailor SeaWorld. They'll bring up and say the Viz one's the true Sailor Moon, that there's nothing wrong with it, that it's flawless. Well, it's not flawless, alright? And for some folks, that might be the only Sailor Moon they have. And if you like the Viz one, great for you. But don't say that it's flawless, because it's not. They'll make it out and tell you that everything you didn't like about Dic Cloverway's one, you'll love about the Viz one. Well, there are going to be some things you're not going to like about it. One, if you think the show playing's bad, well, they're going to bitch about that again too. So, that's still not going to be good enough for them. So they'll still bitch about that. Another thing that they'll most likely, bitch about is that why they had to yield for so many years to get it. But they're never going to be happy. They're going to make out, these, at the end of the day, they're going to make folks think that the Dic Cloverway one are unwatchable. And the truth is they're not. We've been watching that on and off since 2000 08 YL. And for some folks in the settled land in the 4-1 Reichs grew up on that one. Now, I don't have anything against the Viz one. I think the Viz one is, wonderful in its own right. And it's more of a backup, for the Dic Cloverway one. So if this upsets the apple wane for some folks in the Sailor Moon followership, I'm sorry. If you like this, can I end this now? Yeah. If you like this film, I'll end it. Yeah, thank you, Sailor Uranus, Sailor SeaWorld. If you like this film, then follow us over here at Sailor Moon for Life. Don't forget to share, thumb up, and playlist this film, and watch the other film we made yesterday over here. Hit that bringer and bind when you want to know when the next upload, live stream, or short's been done. I, Sailor Uranus, Sailor Skyworld Amara, and I, Sailor Neptune, Sailor SeaWorld Michelle, and we'll see you later.